It's time. It's time for the Billy Flynn Experience.
Thank you so much for joining me here once again at the Billy Flynn Experience. I'm your host, Billy Flynn. Hope everyone's day was productive. Of course, we're coming here live from Germany in the afternoon hours. We're going to jump right into tonight's show. Or a podcast. The title says, I think I'm going to change the title, but the title says Kanye West was right all along. But is it too late? The reason I say that is because I came across, it's interesting because I came across a photograph. And it was, again, and it's going to all tie together. I'm going to make this short, so it's going to all tie together. But I came across the photograph of that started this whole quagmire. And by the way, this is going to be the last podcast about Kanye West and what's going on, because it's getting, he's in the media and he is trending. But I don't want to make it seem like I'm bending everything around his life. But what he has brought to the forefront, what he presented for everyone, is very, very deep. And I say that to say this. The White Lives Matter t-shirt. And everything that he was saying on Drink Champs, incidentally, the reason why the company behind Revolt made N.O.R.E. pull that off the internet. But again, once it's on the internet, it's forever. So that's neither here nor there, but again, you have to follow the events in order to understand everything. And that's why I say Kanye was right all along. And everything that he was saying, even though he was labeled as an anti-Semite. And that word alone will shut anyone down or scare people away. They have used that word to put fear into people. So that's why everyone that is connected to this matrix, I'll call it a matrix, was going against Kanye West, or Ye. And at first, it was all the major, and they used the media. And when I say who, we all know who we're talking about. And this is why I say Kanye was correct. Okay, but we're going to get back to what I was saying. It's about the t-shirts. And again, it's going to all tie together. But when I figured it out, it blew my mind. It blew my mind today. It just really blew my mind. So again, okay, we go back to the t-shirts. The White Lives Matter t-shirt. That was printed on the back. They didn't photograph, or they did photograph the front of the shirt, but that image was uploaded days after everything blew up. And there's a reason why. And even though Kanye wanted to articulate this, but he couldn't because, again, possibly because of his medication that he's taken and a lot of hell of a amount of pressure in his personal life, with his kids, with his ex-wife, with his ex-wife family, him wanting to be a father to his children, and there's certain rights that are just stripped from him from being a father to his children. And then, of course, again, the media plays in on that. Interesting, again, like they always do, most people or most artists, or hell, anyone that has the ability to have others to listen to their message, they paint them as crazy. Okay, again, getting back to the t-shirt. The front of the t-shirt, if those that ever paid attention to that, but the front of the t-shirt had a picture of the Pope. And under the photograph read Juan Pablo II. Of course, that's Spanish. The English translation from that is John Paul II. And he's talking about John Paul II, the Pope that died, because there's a new Pope now. So to make that connection with the White Lives Matter, if those that remember, and this is incidentally the reason why that podcast was taken off of the internet, because there are certain things that he was saying in that podcast that they didn't edit out, that if smart people or those that have eyes that can see, if those or the individuals in the world that are able to put one and one together, they would figure out what Kanye was really talking about. Even though a lot of the things he was saying was all jumbled, words were jumbled. And again, it made him seem unstable, or just, you know, he made it seem like he was off his medication. I'll put it like that. But again, as I said, the media painted that picture of Kanye as being unstable and not really making much sense. But again, the front of the photograph on the front of the sweatshirt was Pope John Paul II. On the back, it had White Lives Matter. And again, on the podcast, he was talking about the black genocide and how, get this, how Planned Parenthood, Margaret Sanger, Planned Parenthood was placed in the black communities, and that has been going on since the initiation of Planned Parenthood. Incidentally, Margaret and her elite friends and I'm trying to think of the word. I'm going to use the right word. Eugenics. The practice of eugenics. So since the inception of Planned Parenthood, that has been the black genocide. And again, him using the reference of Jewish or Jewish people, that's where the message got lost, and that's where he was painted as being anti-Semitic, because he was basically talking about the very industry, the media, the medical, the law. Everything has been pretty much taken over by an organization. I'll call it an organization. Yeah, I like that word. We'll call it an organization, but we know. And again, this is where the media comes in, takes this t-shirt flips it, spin it, and then feed it to the masses and say, okay, this is Kanye West. And what did everyone do? Everyone got caught up in their emotions. And that's where the message was lost. Because then you have majority of the African Americans took that and fell for the bait, saying, okay, well, no, that's not right. Look at what he's doing to our people. Look at this message that he's putting out to the black people, that white lives matter again, that black lives matter doesn't, we don't matter. It was crazy. But all he was doing was trying to make a connection, but everybody missed the message all in its own, all on itself. Everyone missed the message. And that's where I had to stop and kind of piece everything together. Again, on the front was the Pope. On the back, White Lives Matter. Again, because now that abortion and the whole firestorm of abortion in America, and how they're making it illegal, and then there's a whole conspiracy theory behind that, because the white birth rate in America has fallen. And then you have many different people of color that are now becoming a dominant, quote unquote, race of people. That as the people who study the population, they already figured by the year 2050 that America would quote unquote become more brown and black people. So there's a whole community behind that mentality or that notion. But one thing for sure, again, this is about what Kanye was saying on the Drink Champs, and that he was saying that the media and the people who own the media is trying to strip the freedom of speech and the freedom of expression, and therefore be able to control the narrative of information that is put out for the masses to receive. It's genius. It was pure genius. Again, because of his jumbled thoughts and not being able to express them as they're formulating in his brain, it comes out jumbled, and that's where it seems that he's unstable, or again, as people label, he's off his medication. But all along he was telling the truth. All along this is what he was talking about. No one made the connection. And again, the media won. They put the first image out, which was on the back of the sweatshirt, White Lives Matter, became a frenzy. Automatically, Kanye's message would be lost because everyone was looking at the wrong thing. Not only that, but in their emotions. And because of the fact that America is a hotbed on this social construct called race, ultimately that's what they're trying to do. That's what the media is trying to do, is to keep us separated, or to keep Americans separated. For whatever agenda that is, I don't know, but this whole firestorm And because of it, Kanye West's message was lost. But that's basically what it is. And it's all connected. The company that owned the major media corporations, again, to the entertainment industrial or industry, and that's acting, that's music, film. There's only a select few that has been running these organizations. They figured it out. They've created this conglomerate, and you have to play by their rules. And those that wake up and see the game, those are the ones that are put down. However it's done, that's how it's done. So I've never once thought that Kanye was crazy. Never. Interestingly enough, I was identifying with a lot of things that he was saying. Not really much of a fan of his music. I mean, I like some of his music, but I'm not really a fan of his music. I just recognize his creativity, and I recognize his drive. And the mind of an artist operates on multiple levels. It's not just on one level, it's on multiple levels. And many times, because of an artist and an artist's work, it's left out for the masses to interpret themselves. So that's pretty much the mind of an artist. And I mean, if you look back throughout the history of art, it was always the crazy ones, or what was perceived as their gift as being crazy, misinterpreted, misunderstood. I'll tell you this, I think that Kanye West is a very important figure, public figure of a generation. I think so. But again, that's what I got from all of this. And again, it all started from the t-shirt. And when I saw the front of the t-shirt, then I was just putting everything together, everything that Kanye West has said over the past years. I mean, even going back to his album, The Life of Pablo. I mean, this has nothing to do with what's going on now, but the whole aspect of his journey, his spiritual journey. He saw himself as someone like Pope John. Or better yet, someone, Pablo, the life of Pablo, that was more or less on Saint Paul. Sorry. And Kanye saw himself as a saint, or following behind Saint Paul. So he has always been on his journey, his spiritual journey, not only an artistic journey, but again on multiple levels. And it comes out through his work, which again, say 80% of the people won't get it. But I guarantee there's a message in everything that he says and everything that he does. I really believe that. Again, it took me a minute to figure it all out, but now I get it. It had nothing to do with those t-shirts. It had nothing to do with the t-shirt itself, but it was a message upon a message within a message. It's like trying to figure out an enigma. So again, that's what I got from it. I find it very interesting, very deep on many, many different levels. I don't know. You tell me what you think. Yeah, but leave a message, leave a comment, let me know what you think, and I'll take the whole concept of expression and freedom of speech, take that serious. That's what I'm taking away from all of this. Freedom of expression. And owning that in which you create. And controlling your own narrative. That's what I've taken off from this. So, again, thank you so much for listening to the Billy Flint Experience. I am your host, Billy Flint. Look forward to being with you again. Have a wonderful rest of the week and enjoy your weekend. Until next time, have a good one.